Okay, so for this week we watched The Dead, the Devil, and the Flesh from 1974 from director Jose Oliveira. So this was quite the interesting film, so let's get into it. The first thing that I noticed was that this film has many religious ties, and this is probably largely due to the fact that it was made shortly after Oliveira converted to our gospel. But there's lots of talk of veils, of resurrection, of physical bodies, and we definitely see those connections all throughout the film. One of the key focal points I wanted to focus my opener on was sex and the body, because I feel like those are two of the most apparent themes in this movie. And that's one through the adulterous woman, his wife. She even, self-proclaims kind of half in jest that she's the adulterous woman. But she definitely plays that character, this character of temptation. And sex is never explicitly shown in the film, but it is suggested through various cinematic elements. Some are movement, but what I've seen most prominently are these close-ups of women's bodies, whether it be makeup or her thigh or her unbuttoning her shirt. We get these close-ups that are highly suggestive of sexual promiscuity. So next we have the scene of the dance, and I think the themes of the body and of sex lend itself well to this scene as well. So obviously this scene is highly suggestive, I think probably for many reasons. I think the director, he might have gone for an interpretation here of this to be symbolic of, sin and worldly pleasures, as many of the dance moves here are, highly suggestive. People are dancing on one another. I think there's even some men dancing with men and women dancing with women, so that could have been another message within itself about some of the things the church doctrine considers a sin. But overall, I think it's just highly suggestive of the power of our bodies and how they can be used for worldly pleasures. And I think that might have been what the director was going for with this scene. And for kind of a historical connection, I really wanted to tie this back to the sexual revolution, which was a revolution that took place in the 60s to the 80s, but also during the 70s, that challenged normal sexual codes of conduct and morals and heteronormality. It challenged basically the traditional notions of sex. And this was going on very prevalently when this film was made. So I'm sure that it had some kind of input into the scenes we've watched with the dancing and with the drug use and with all the scenes of suggestive sex. I'm sure the director was thinking about this and how his new morals that he found within the church directly could combat that. And here are my questions. I really want to know about your interpretation of the dancing, what it might have meant to you, and also for what reasons you liked this film or disliked it. Thank you.